Dave, all season long, you've been a guy not too high, not too low. Don't over evaluate maybe what happens. You guys had a tough performance in Montreal, but you're in a sequence that you're 5-1-1 in the last 7. So, take us through the mindset tonight. Do you look back at what happened that night, or is that kind of combination of factors that's just keep going?
Well, there's every game you take something out of it, but basically, we can go back to the 2 games that we've played in here. One we weren't very good at all, and the other one we were pretty solid. So you take some motivation out of the ones where you didn't play very well, and you take look at some of the things you did very well when you won. So you use a little bit of both, but we really didn't play very well. We were not a lot of juice in our game last time we were in here last week, so it's good to come back, and hopefully we'll recognize that. We have to be a lot better if we expect to win, and I think our team will be better tonight.
Jim Matheson, Post Media.
A couple of things, Dave. Same lineup. Will you be playing the same lineup that you had against Calgary?
Yeah, that's the way it looks. We've got same lineup. Schmidt will start.
Okay, and I mean, as you get 18 games left, are you starting to try to formalize? Okay, here's who I want on this line. Here's who I want on that line. If not, at least with the bottom 6, maybe you look at Kara and Chason and Shore. Okay, that looks like a pretty good line, and then Cassian and Archibald on the third line. Are you starting to look at that sort of stuff?
Well, yeah, I mean, you look at that all year long, a certain mix that you're looking for between different roles that you're looking for in your group. And, I mean, there's roles, special teams, I mean, size. There's a lot of different factors you're looking at. So we're trying to find the right mix, and some of that is dictated with how players play. Other is dictated on what different roles, like injuries and people that are in and out of the lineup. So we're starting to, you get to know everybody and you try to fit the pieces in. But that being said, you might have an injury or two, and now you got to adapt again. So you get to know your personnel, and hopefully you can fit them all in the right places to maximize what they're doing.
Thank you. Mark Becker, Sportsnet.
So you coached for a long time, and you're probably pretty good at knowing what's going to happen, what you're going to get out of your team, every night. Sometimes you might get the feeling it's not there, or maybe it is there, or whatever. Is it harder this year? Have you been surprised more this year by what you expected and what you got?
I don't know if it's harder. You're more aware of it this year. Just you're more cognizant of really digging into how your team feels, and there's a lot of outside factors going on throughout the whole league that everybody's aware of. So you become very cognizant of making sure your team's up to speed on everything. And just the last few days, I mean, we've had the league has sent out a memo that just stay vigilant on what you're doing. And so there's things like that you're really in touch with your group. And, you're always trying to figure out how it affects your group. How does the Vancouver situation affect your whole group? You try to monitor it and make sure you're talking with your team and make sure we're doing things right that just allow us to move along as best we can.
Well, I know coaches have always been, it's important to get rid of the outside influences, right? To eliminate all the outside stuff that you don't want affecting your group, but that's clearly impossible this year.
Yeah, no, you gotta manage it. You got to manage it. You can't eliminate it. You got to manage it, and that's sometimes a different perspective. But a lot of those things I've always felt that's the best way to be is up front for your team. And there's days when you, like you say, you like your energy in your team, and there's other days when you're concerned about it. And as a coach, you try to, there's different things you can try to do to try to maximize your group. And they're down a little bit, you try to tweak things. When they're up, you got to let them go a little more. So there has been a lot of situations like that a lot of thinking goes into how you're treating your team from day to day.
Jason Gregor, TSN 1260.
Dave, Montreal's one of the best team in limiting goals 5-on-5. You've seen them 4 times. You did have the one game where you dominated and won. That was their back-to-back night. What do you feel that they do well defensively. How do you attack them differently? Because that seems to be their bread and butter. They just don't give up a lot 5-on-5.
Yeah, they're a pretty solid team. They're good balance. You know, they played to get well against us early. They played well against everybody early, and then they kind of had a bit of a downtime. And we weren't very good the other day, so we're looking for a little bit of a rebound game here. But they're a solid, balanced team.
The one game you did beat them, you had Mike Smith in goal. Now, obviously, he's played well. How much does his puck handling help other teams? Like Montreal likes to cycle the puck law. How much of a factor is that for your team and a benefit when Smith is able to, just limit the other team's ability to even forecheck or cycle?
Well, it does have a factor. He takes some of that forecheck away, which you end up defending less. So he'd be lying to say he's not a factor in there of helping your team get out of your own end and spend less time there.
Ryan Rashad, TSN.
Dave, back to Speck's point a little bit in managing your group's energy levels and such. What have you sensed out of them the last couple of days here? And I know it was unfortunate that it happened, but that day off you decided to give the group on Saturday, do you feel like that maybe could come around to benefit you? You talked about having what kind of juice you'll have heading into the game tonight.
Yeah, I think we talked about it as the coaching staff this morning. We had a good quick practice yesterday morning before we got on the plane that there seemed to be some good life in this morning after the skate here. There seems to be some good life, so hopefully it benefited us. We'll see. I'll tell you about 9:30 tonight.
How is your group in adjusting on the fly? So let's say it's not there right off the get-go. What do you sense on your bench? And are you seeing what you want to see from your group to make those adjustments and energy level adjustments in game?
Yeah, I think as your group matures and you're finding different ways to win and recognizing how different games are going to go, I think the maturity of our group continues to improve. That allows us to adapt to situations. And you might not have an A game, but you got to find a way to win. And you might be playing your A game. The other team's the goaltender is great. You got to stay with it. I mean, there's different circumstances that come into play, but ultimately it's about finding a way to win each night. And if you can do that, or give yourself the best chance at that, you can become a good team. And I sense that we look at those occasions and we adapt. And you're not always successful in them, but we have the right mindset to give us a chance a lot of nights. So that's the maturity of our team moving forward.